Hear me out. Story time. So you relate to this story if you grew up in Nigeria. I grew up in Nigeria and I went to boarding school. For those people that know, boarding school in Nigeria is quite a different experience from anything normal. It's all survival mode. If you think the military is a lot, forget about it. Boarding school in Nigeria is the real thing. Especially when you don't go to the fancy ones. And before I went to the fancy ones, I went to the ones where you just have to survive. So I went to a very fancy primary school. And all of a sudden my parents were like, hey, it's time for you to go to what we call high school. That's what we call secondary school. And they came up with this list of a lot of schools in Jos Plateau State. I was like, wait, what the hell am I doing in Jos? Keep in mind, I grew up in Abuja. All I know is Abuja. I've known Abuja all my life, so I don't know where is Jos. Now, I don't even know when my father did the admission process. All that I know is that I didn't even sit for no entrance examination or what anything. No, I didn't. And boom, I'm now a student of this God knows what. I don't even want to call it a school because when I came into that building, the first thing I said was, Mommy, what are we doing here? Because of course I was bougie. I was just a bougie boy that was dropped in the middle of nowhere. Keep in mind, my parents are very comfortable. We are very comfortable people. So I didn't even know why we're going to a school where it was just like that. But my father had this principle of, you know what, a child needs to suffer before they understand what life is about, yada, yada, I don't know. Yeah, I get it, and I don't. But however, first off, the first red flag about this school was that you needed to come in with food items. And I don't mean like provisions where we're talking about milk, Milo. Nigerians will get that. No, I'm talking about rice, raw beans, raw corn. Like you have to come in with raw food items. That was my number one strike. I was like, why are we coming in with this food items? Number two strike, it was all boys. I didn't understand that. I have never seen that before. Before that, I didn't even know that was even legal to have a same-sex school. Number three, there were more than 300 people in one room. Like the room was very open. It was like an open space, but like there were like almost 300 people there. There were bunk beds, for real. The last point is that it was Catholic. And I wasn't Catholic, so I didn't even know why I was doing there because I didn't even know how to pray Catholic prayer. I've got fast forward to my first night. I was sleeping and I was hearing noise, real noise. I don't want to say what the noises was, but put the pieces together. I didn't understand what. Keep in mind, how this bougie boy dropped in. I didn't know what life was. I'm being honest. I was naive. I didn't know nothing. I held myself up and I woke up and I realized that the noise wasn't in my room. It was like in rooms away from mine. Because it wasn't my business, I went back to bed. But I just couldn't forget the fact that even till today when I'm telling you guys the story, I can't forget the fact that the noises was just inappropriate for a male dorms, like all male same-sex school. Like I said from the beginning of this story, I was very privileged. My father was doing well for himself, so it was like I was this bougie boy dropped in the middle of nowhere, right? And in this school, you have people who are in higher classes than you. So you have people who are in like SS3, which is like a higher class than you are. So if you're in like a junior or a senior, just look at the difference, that kind of thing. So this school has a dynamic where you have what they call school fathers. School fathers means students who have been there long before you came and are in higher classes. So these people are supposed to be like mentors to you while you come in as, you know, a new student. And for me, because my father was rich, let's say, because of that, I had like a lot of people, like a lot of seniors that wanted to be my school father. For their own personal reasons, I didn't know what their reasons were. You know what? This story is going to be longer than 10 minutes video. And I know that already. Let me see if you're interested in listening to it.